Very good morning to all of you. We are studying the environment and ecology. Actually, the paper is very interesting, and if you understand this paper in a like of a story, okay, that we are talking about the environmental protections, the environmental conservations, wildlife conservations. So today, that we will study how in the pre-independence time or the Britishers come to India, कैसे द स्टेट का राइट फॉरेस्ट के ऊपर में आते चला गया. How the forest management become a state subject. Okay, that earlier the forest dwellers were there, and in the name of the scientific management, the forest, the policy resolutions of the 1894, how the Britishers got more and more control over the state. So today हम लोग आज इस एपिसोड को समझेंगे and let us see the subsequent development. So let's begin the today's class. So whenever we say that it is a debate between the economical development and the conservation of the forest, तो यहाँ पर कुछ notes लिखा है, इसको पढ़ लेना है. It will help you. Okay, that entire debate on forest management revolves around striking a balance between historical injustice done on the forest dwellers and reintegrating the forest right through the joint forest management. All we will take up. Okay, so let us try to understand कि what happened and कैसे कैसे ये frameworks बने and how the helpful in the forest management. Okay, we will divide the entire debate before independence and after independence. So let's try to understand before independence. Before independence. So before independence, in the colonial time, the forest or the forest resource, better to say, basically it was the subject of local rulers or local monarch. Okay, forest management, it was the subject of local ruler. Subject of local rulers. So local rulers अपने हिसाब से इसको मैनेज करते थे. Okay, but when the British come, that is the advent of British. Advent of British. So you know that the British had introduced the drastic changes in every aspect, like they introduced the land reform measures. Okay, it was a part of their imperialist policy, the mercantilist policy. So British gradually trying to reform the very structural setup of India. Okay, in every aspect, like in economical, cultural, social. Okay, so in every aspect they brought a drastic changes, and so in the land reforms. How they bring the changes in land reform? They introduce the systems like the permanent settlement. Okay, जैसे permanent settlement. Are you getting my point? Let's say one thing. So I actually considering that the people who are studying, they know the brief history about the India, that with respect to the Britishers. जब भी modern history पढ़ो, okay, Britishers का story कैसे याद रखना है? It is from Plassey to partition. Okay, कैसे? Plassey to partition. So Plassey, that is 1757, 1757 में Plassey का battle हुआ था. Partition means independence, 1947. Okay, India was divided into India and Pakistan. So Plassey to partition you study in modern. Okay, so in 1757 Plassey का battle हुआ, and in 1764 what was that? It was the battle of Buxar. So when the battle of Buxar was fought, the Britishers got what? Diwani rights. Okay, Britishers got the Diwani rights. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by the Diwani rights? Diwani rights का मतलब क्या था? The Diwani rights मतलब the revenue rights plus civil justice. Okay, civil justice. So इसका मतलब revenue collections, administration of justice मतलब कि punishment देना, कोई किसी के लिए सजा सुनाना, these become the rights of the Britishers. Okay, तो उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि एज ए पार्ट ऑफ द रेवेन्यू उनको परमानेंट सोर्स देना था, क्योंकि ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी को अपना रेवेन्यू कहाँ देना पड़ता था? टू द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ ब्रिटेन. So for that, the Britishers, the East India Company, क्या किया उस समय कि they bring a lot of the changes. Okay, they transform the structure of the land. How? They introduce the systems of land reform, like the Jamindari system. Okay, they introduce the Jamindari systems. They introduce the Ryotwari systems. They introduce Mahalwari system. Mahalwari system. They introduced Malgujari system. Malgujari systems. So in this way, they actually changes the structural features of the land in India. Jamindari system, it is also known as the permanent settlement. It was introduced in the Bengal, Bihar and Odisha side. Okay, so all these changes brought in a drastic thing. What? कि जो forest area थे. Okay, now come back to the discussion. ये बताने का रीजन क्या था कि you could understand कि Britishers actually brought a lot of changes that in the cultural, social, political, economic and every aspects of India. Okay, India earlier it was basically a hub in terms of manufacturing, textile and industry. So before the Britishers, basically the local rulers, the local monarch, they governed the subject that is the forest. So now come back to our discussion. So forest, okay, the forest, it was basically governed by the traditions and laws of local rulers. Okay, but now the Britishers come and Britishers introduced what? A new type of legislation. So Britishers brought a new framework to manage the forest. Why? Because they visualize the forest management as the potential source for wealth generation. What was the focus area? Hidden agenda क्या था? इनका focus क्या था? कि they visualize that okay, the forest is here, it is a potential source for wealth generation. So it is a potential source for what? No, wealth generation. ठीक है? So economical aspect was there. From economical point of view, the forest management was started by the Britishers. So the first thing what they did, they introduced the scientific management of the forest. Okay, let's see. So first thing was that the scientific management of the forest. Scientific management of forest. It was scientific in terms, but let's understand what is the actual meaning of scientific. Actually, in European countries and more particularly in Britain में कैसा होता था? Forest management का objective कैसा था? ना production based, economical aspect. Okay, so what was that scientific management of forest? So it was a production based model. It was a production based model. Production based model. ठीक है? Now प्रोडक्शन बेस्ड मॉडल था, ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या था? रेवेन्यू जनरेशन. सो डेफिनेटली क्या क्या होगा? दे स्टार्टेड चेंजिंग, क्योंकि जो फॉरेस्ट थे, यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड, फॉरेस्ट वाज व्हाट? नेचुरल हैबिटेट फॉर द फॉरेस्ट ड्वेलर्स. इट वाज द नेचुरल शेल्टर फॉर द फॉरेस्ट ड्वेलर्स. इट वाज द सोर्स फॉर नॉन टिम्बर फॉरेस्ट प्रोड्यूस. Okay, it was the source for the goods and services for the dwellers. Okay, so yeah, the forest dwellers are integral part of the forest. But now let's see what happened. The Britishers had introduced the scientific management of forest. Introduced क्या? Production based model था. So अब नेक्स्ट क्या किया कि they had introduced lot of the things. For example, they introduced the permanent settlement. Already we have seen. They introduced the permanent settlement. Plus, they enacted the Forest Act. They enacted the Forest Act of 1865, 1878, and there was a forest policy. एक फॉरेस्ट पॉलिसी लाया, that is 1894. So all these basically इन सब का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या था कि the forest क्या था, it was a potential source of revenue and forest dwellers के rights को curtail कर देना है, dwellers को वहां से हटा देना है. So all these legislation क्या किया होगा, resulted into lot of the revolts. So those were called the tribal revolts, you can call it. So all these steps or initiatives led to tribal revolts. ठीक है, all these led to tribal revolts, but it was the initial time, so tribal revolts was brutally suppressed. But why that? Tribal revolts was brutally suppressed. ठीक है, brutally suppressed. And East India Company का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या था? They aspired to become a paramount power. ठीक है, they aspired to become a paramount power. So paramount power बनने के लिए क्या करना होगा? More and more resource generate करना होगा. They have to be wealthy. So ये कैसा possible है? Just to bring कि जो forest resource है, it should be now converted into a state property. ठीक है, so they brought legislations to declare the state as a forest property. So they started bringing legislations को क्या बोलते हैं? Acts to have more and more states control over the forest. ठीक है, over the forest. ठीक है, all these episodes are happening. एक thing और ऐड करो, how they becoming the more and more states control over the forest. फिर क्या होगा कि curtailing the forest dwellers right. साथ ही साथ अब क्या करेगा, forest dwellers के right को खत्म करना पड़ेगा ना. So plus curtailing करना है, curtailing the forest dwellers rights. Forest dwellers rights. Forest dwellers का क्या क्या rights है? The forest dwellers were an integral part of the forest. So उनके पास traditional rights है, traditional rights. Plus they have the commercial right to sell the forest produce. Okay, they have the access right to the forest. So they have access right, traditional right, the commercial rights. So all the rights the Britishers started to curtail them. Okay, and so that they can be excluded out from the forest habitat. Okay, so what is the objective? To exclude out from what? The forest habitat. ठीक है, forest habitat. So ये जो चीजें हो रही है ये ethical counts है, एंड बाद में फिर हम लोग देखेंगे कि यही ethical account फिर से रिस्टोर करेगा. तो ये पूरा डिबेट है. Now let us see. So that they started bringing the states under they started bringing the forest under the state control. इसके लिए क्या किया? 1864 they established a separate department that is called Department of Forest. So you can call it the Forest Department was established. The Forest Department was established. याद रखेंगे, when the Forest Department was established, it was 1864. और Forest Department क्या बोलेगा? It advocates that bring or declare the forest as a state property and exclude the dwellers from the forest almost from all the rights. क्या क्या बोलेगा? So forest department के लिए दो तीन बातें याद रखेंगे. What were that? It emphasized the two things. Number one, that emphasized that state control over the forest, state control over the forest, and second, that is exclusion of the dwellers. Exclusion dwellers का मतलब the traditional जो dwellers हैं, that is scheduled tribes or the forest tribes, those people are called forest dwellers. So exclusion of the dwellers from almost all rights. All rights. For example, like the commercial rights. The commercial rights. Like tenurial rights. Tenurial rights. Okay, etc. So Department of Forest that emphasize that कि forest के ऊपर में ultimate control किसका हो? State का. And let us emphasize, it also emphasize कि forest dweller to be excluded out from almost all the rights. So that is injudicious and over exploited use किया जा सकता है किसका? Forest resources का. Okay, so it was the 1864 when the forest department was established. Now let us see the policies. Okay, the forest policies. So तीनों forest policy एक साथ ही देखेंगे हम लोग. The forest policy of 1894, then forest policy of 1952, and forest policy of the 1988, and how the orientation started and got changed. Okay, over the time. So it was the British time. So forest policy of 1894. ठीक है, forest policy of 1894. How you remember that it was the first Indian forest policy. It was the first Indian forest policy. ठीक है, that was adopted. It was the first Indian forest policy adopted, and the policy focused on the two areas. The policy focused on two areas. Focused on two areas. So this policy focused on the two areas. और कौन कौन से दो एरियाज थे? नंबर वन, that what is forest को अभी तक क्या बोला है कि it is a potential source for wealth generation. तो पहला तो वही रहा होगा. What is it? Is a potential source for wealth generation. Potential source for generating profits. Okay, potential source for generating profits. And second, that is need to preserve the forest of hilly areas. Need to preserve the forest of hilly areas. ठीक है, forest of hilly areas. Why the hilly areas? Because at that time they have to also develop what? Railways. So railways, why? Goods they can be transported to the near about the seaports. So railway development के लिए क्या चाहिए थी? The timbers चाहिए थे, लकड़ी चाहिए थी. So in the hilly area they got the hardwoods. So that is why this was the objective. But what is that? Object policy में लिखा कि preserve करना है. But hidden agenda was what? Economical. Economical था ना? That was the drain of wealth. That is to take away the wealth from India and send it to the motherland, that is England. ठीक है, so it was the part of the drain of wealth. So these were the policy, but what was the hidden agenda? The hidden agenda अभी वही था, you can call it the hidden agenda. What was the hidden agenda? Bring more and more forests under the state control. पहला तो ये होगा. So first hidden agenda was to consolidate the state's control over the forest and state's property right over the state. Okay. So to consolidate state's control over the forest. State's control over the forest. ठीक है, over the forest and state's property right over the forest. मतलब सिंपल टर्म्स में क्या बोल सकते हैं कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा फॉरेस्ट को स्टेट कंट्रोल में लेके आओ एंड फॉरेस्ट किसकी प्रॉपर्टी है? स्टेट की प्रॉपर्टी है. ठीक है, स्टेट्स की प्रॉपर्टी. ना सेकंड हिडन एजेंडा क्या है? दैट कि जो फॉरेस्ट ड्वेलर्स हैं दे शुड बी डिप्राइव्ड फ्रॉम देयर व्हाट ट्रेडिशनल राइट. इसीलिए तो स्टेट प्रॉपर्टी बनाया. दैट द फॉरेस्ट dwellers were denied of their traditional rights. उनके जो ट्रेडिशनल राइट्स थे वो सब ग्रेजुअली डिनाई करना शुरू किया, ट्रेडिशनल राइट्स. एंड ये फॉरेस्ट पॉलिसी है कंजर्वेशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट, प्रिजर्वेशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट एंड फॉरेस्ट ज्वेलर्स जो ऑलरेडी उस फॉरेस्ट के इंटीग्रल कंपोनेंट हैं उनके ट्रेडिशनल राइट्स को डिनाई कर रहा है. एंड no role was given to the forest dwellers in the conservation of forest. Okay, so no role was given to the forest dwellers in conservation of forest. It means the community participation पे कोई focus नहीं था. Okay, you can call it the community participation. Okay, community participation इस पे कोई फोकस नहीं था. Okay, it was basically you can call it एक disguise था कि okay in the name of the forest management the government actually trying to bring more and more forest under state control. The traditional rights were denied. It means gradually the forest dwellers become marginalized. So you can keep a note here. This forest policy of 1894, it was the beginning of marginalization of forest dwellers in India. So it was the beginning of marginalization of the forest dwellers in India. Okay, forest dwellers in India. So by going through this forest policy of 1894, what we have understood that it was the first forest policy. Second, that it focused to area. Okay, we are actually focusing on preservation. That objective was the generating the wealth to preserve the hilly. What is the objective? It was economical to support the development of the railway, and it was basically part of the drain of wealth. So उस समय लोग उतने literate नहीं थे, they cannot understand. So actual hidden agenda was that to bring more and more the forest under the state control, deprive the forest dweller so that injudicious exploitation of the forest can be taken place. So keep this note, that is important. It was the beginning. So which forest policy? It was the forest policy of 1894 was the beginning of marginalization of the forest dwellers in India. Okay. So now let us conclude today's class. Today we have seen that forest, it was basically governed by the local rules of the monarchs, and there was the traditional rights, there were the commercial as well as access right of the forest dwellers. But in the name of the scientific forest management, because objective उस समय क्या था? It was the economical importance of the forest. The forest conservation was based on economical importance of the forest. So through the scientific forest management plus कुछ acts हैं like that 1865 plus 1878, gradually the Britishers brought the state control over the forest. Okay, so the subsequent development, किस तरह से the forest dwellers के right was restored in the after independence time, we will see in the subsequent class. So let's conclude today's class that you have understood the development. So next we will see the further development. So take care, goodbye, have a good day.